Welcome to Violet Light Tarot. This is the Cancerian reading for lessons and takeaways from June of 2020. Welcome to Cancerian's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and of course cross-watchers are always welcome. So today we're doing things a little bit differently with regard to, instead of a pick a card reading with 3 piles, I'm going to do one reading for the collective of the Cancerian audience. So we have the traditional Thoth deck. I know traditional isn't usually my way to go, but for some reason I was called to use this particular deck. What I'm going to do also is a different kind of 8-card spread with just the one deck. 4 cards to depict your actual message and 4 cards to clarify what the message is actually referring to. So Cancers, while we're doing the shuffle, what happened for your June? How was it? How did it go? Anything exciting personal wise? I know exciting is not the way to go with some of the wording that happened over the world, but yeah, let me know how it went. Ooh, that was loud. We're starting off with the 4 of Pentacles, upright. And we're moving into the 2 of Pentacles, upright. Almost got away. We have Death, upright. Now remember, especially if you're new to card readings, if you are new to the channel, welcome, absolutely. If you're new to card readings, the Death card does not denote actual death. If you have had a death in your family, I'm sorry for your loss, but the Death card as a card is usually referring to a change of some type. Please remember that this, again, is a collective reading for all of the Cancer audience, so some of this may resonate, all of this may resonate, some of it may not. If for whatever reason this really doesn't feel like a reading for you personally, please remember to check the other parts of your natal chart for the message that may be more for you, and also other readers if I just don't happen to have the message for you for this particular time. You're always welcome back anytime, and you're welcome to join us if you are new here and are used to another reader who didn't really work for you at this point. If you're looking for a more personalized reading, please check the description at the bottom of the video. It has the link to our store. The last card for your actual top row message is the 3 of Pentacles. You have had a lot going on with regard to your finances, your business and home life, just your regular 3D existence this month, the month of June, Cancer. It's just been, you've really been in the now, as they say. So you've got the hardworking 4 of Pentacles, followed by an indecision, followed by a change of something that happened, and my apologies. The 4 is not hardworking. The 4 is referring to hoarding, reining in, tightening your purse straps, being very careful with your finances. There has been indecision, there has been a change that's occurred, and you are in fact hardworking, which is the 3. There we go. Something had you really very diligent with regards to where your finances were going, making sure that you weren't spending where you shouldn't have spent, which, I mean, with the financial climates the way they are, good for you. You have had an indecision over the time as well with regard to, possibly with regard to finance, possibly something else. The 2 of Pentacles could mean an indecision in any part of your life. It just happens to be using the Pentacles to, like, as an example or as an image. There was a change, though, that caused you to be more hardworking or to dive more into your work as opposed to any other part of what's going on. So let's find out exactly what this means with regard to what happened and really what the message was intended to really provide to you, what your takeaway was meant to be throughout all of this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. So the Nine of Cups upright refers to wish fulfillment, emotional independence, really sort of getting something that you want. But what I'm seeing with it as being the clarifier for why you've been sort of very, very stuck with holding on to your finances is that perhaps you were looking for something to come in or something stopped coming in. You could have lost a job or been furloughed, I think is what they call it, when they don't technically fire you so that you can collect unemployment, but they don't have to pay you because they can't for their own finances. It's kind of a weird thing that some companies do. That could have been the change that occurred. That was sort of the death card, the change from something old to something new. So obviously you would never want that to happen. So you've been holding on to your finances a little more carefully. You've been indecisive and you're not sure where to go from here. It can really throw you for a loop, especially if you weren't expecting it or if you thought your company was safe or what have you. So this has really got you in this moment of working, but it may be either working on a new job, so a change in career, or it could just be you working on yourself and working really on you're finding out where you want to go from here, sort of thing. So let's find out more about these clarifiers to see if we can figure that out. So we have the Two of Wands, or basically being stuck. That's clarifying the Two of Pentacles, which that makes sense. So your indecision has actually been because you are feeling stuck at the moment. If you can hear knocking, I can. I've got earphones in just so that I can hear what I'm saying, but I can hear the knocking through the earphones. So if you can hear that, I apologize. It's my neighbors either baking, so they're banging something on their counter, or they're literally building furniture or something. I don't know what they're doing, but that's what that sound is. Happens quite often. Okay. Oh, no, I only need two. Ooh. Okay, not only did they really want to come out, they also took out my little selenite here. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands to clarify the Death cards. So what the change was that occurred, it came in very fast. Whatever it happened to be, like it said, it was unexpected, it was fast moving. It was something that really sort of threw you for a loop, unfortunately. It's not a tower, which means that it wasn't really a make it or break it kind of moment, but it was something that has changed things for you, and it wasn't something that you saw coming at all. One last card. There we go. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands, so defense mechanisms, really feeling like you have to defend yourself or defend what's yours, the people around you, and that is your clarifier for your Three of Pentacles. Okay. Alright, so what I'm seeing overall for you, Cancer, for June of 2020, lessons and takeaways is a lot of passion, a lot of earth energy, fire energy, only one major arcana, and unfortunately the only cups or the only water sign energy, which is yours, is actually in the reverse, and unfortunately the lack of a wish fulfillment. So you've been feeling outside of yourself overall, Cancer, which understandable. That would make sense as to what we have here. Sometimes it doesn't read left to right or right to left. It really kind of reads all around. You still get the message from here and the clarifications from here, but it's not always, first, middle, end outcome or first middle decision outcome, that kind of thing. So something has changed. It came in very, very fast. You weren't expecting it, unfortunately. Obviously, it wasn't something you were hoping for. So it has you really locking in on your finances. So that's why I'm thinking more of something to do with a career change, a job, and by career change I mean job loss, job furloughed, something to that effect. It could be an investment that fell through, maybe a company that you were investing with or investing into ended up going under because of all the quarantines and the lockdowns. So it's got you really reining in on the rest of your pinnacles, the rest of your finances, the rest of your properties, your what have you. It's also made you a bit indecisive because you're standing here saying, okay, if this happened to this particular item, which I didn't want, you're stuck. You're a little bit frozen right now. You personally are frozen, not your finances. You personally are frozen because you're indecisive as to where to go from here. You're stuck because you don't know if this may happen to another thing. I can't tell whether it will or not. Again, this is what happened in June, so it's telling me what has happened and where you are right now as a result of it. It has caused you to feel very defensive, understandably, and it's also caused you to really pay attention to your where the rest of your money is going. So it's not just you're holding on to it, but I'm very much paying attention to the fact that we have these gentlemen here speaking, and it looks more like, I don't know if it's because I compare things to movies and get examples from movies all the time just in my everyday life, but I'm really drawn to a scene in Scrooge or A Christmas Carol. It's actually the Scrooge version, the Alistair Sim one, where you get, I think it's part of the future one, where there's two gentlemen speaking in a grand hall, and you get the idea that they're businessmen or bankers, and they're talking about, oh, I won't go to the funeral if there's no lunch provided or something like that. So I'm getting this idea that you're very concerned or very defensive that whatever's happening with the rest of your finances, whatever is happening with the rest of the financial world at this time, is possibly going to create another moment like this. So it's got you holding on very tightly to what you still have. And it's making you not want to move in any direction and making you very indecisive because you, having not seen this coming, it's almost a trauma response or a, I don't want to akin it to PTSD because that's a very specific thing, but that's kind of the phrase that's coming out to me. You've had one thing that's happened unexpectedly that's caused you to have a loss in your finances that you weren't expecting, did not want. It's got you grabbing onto everything you have and everything you own. You're defensive because you're wondering if the decisions of people in like the grand hall, in government, in the financial world are going to cause this to happen again. So you're frozen with regard to making any decisions about where to go from here until you can sort of have that. All you want is a little bit of, confirmation, a little comfort at this time, which unfortunately is not being provided. Everything you're going through, everything is because of something that you did not cause. Please remember that. Everything that you are feeling is absolutely understandable and absolutely justified. So don't feel like, as a Cancer, maybe you're feeling like you're being a little bit too emotional with regard to what's going on, but you are absolutely not. People react to things from the space they're in, from their own experiences. Your reactions are valid no matter what they happen to be. As long as you are personally, I'm putting this caveat in there, as long as you personally are not harming anybody else with the decisions or indecisions that you're making, or the reactions that you are having aren't harming anyone else, the way that you're feeling is completely justified. Unfortunately, this is literally what I have for you for June Cancer for 2020. The lesson that I'm taking away from this for you on your behalf is literally that, is that you are experiencing this in your own way. The lesson is that you are reacting to this in the way that you are meant to react. There is nothing wrong, and no one is allowed to tell you that there is anything wrong with the way you're reacting, because this is your experience, your life, and this is happening to you. It's happening to a bunch of people all at once, absolutely. But how it's happening to you and your individual reaction to it is absolutely justified. That's your lesson. Your takeaway is really, remember that this was not foreseen by you or foreseen by anybody. Unfortunately, it has caused you, like I said, to be defensive. It has caused you to really rein in on things and become, it's a defense mechanism to hold on to and grab. And the word hoard comes to mind. People who are hoarders, a lot of it is a trauma response. It's because they've lost so much that they're grabbing onto anything they possibly can. Case scenario, the people who were not the ones who were going and selling stuff on Amazon, but the people who were buying a whole bunch of toilet paper because it's what it's the thing they knew they needed to feel comfortable. So what you're doing, with you being defensive and holding on to absolutely everything, no matter what it happens to be, it can be a stuffed animal that you've had since you were 2. And even though you have to move, you don't want to not put that in a box that's coming with you. Even though people are saying you don't need that anymore, you need that. That's okay. Take it with you. It's fine. The fact that you're being stuck right now and not being able to make any decisions is okay. The takeaway is that you will be able to do that at some point. I can't unfortunately see that. Please, the July readings may be able to help with that. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and see what the July predictions are for you. But yeah, you are justified in how you're feeling. You are okay in how you're feeling. You're valid in how you're feeling. Please try and have at least a calm couple of last days of June. Again, I'm hoping July works out better for you. And thank you so much for taking the time to join with us today. Please comment, like, subscribe, and remember the notification bell to find out if July is going to be hopefully better for you. Thank you again. Bye for now.